Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, I'm dropping my seeds for the hashtag Planter HGC 2025. I'll be planting seeds for 10 herbs with any luck. I'll have 10 herbs germinating within the next 2 weeks. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Right now, I'm getting my planting medium together. It's just a mix of a few different things. I didn't have a whole lot of seed starting mix left, and I wasn't going to go buy any, so we're making do with what we got. So this is a mixture of cocoa coir, seed potting mix, and good old Miracle Grow. And the seed potting mix or seed starting mix that I use is the Miracle Grow variety as well. Just taking out these big chunks. This is most assuredly from the Miracle Grow potting mix. So I'll get this all mixed up and I'll start filling my, I'm using 2.5-inch square deep seedling pots. This is my first year using these, so I'm not going to say whether or not I recommend them. They were an affordable option. Last year, I used the method that I've been using for years and years, which was using, what do you call them, styrofoam cups. But when we had the work done on the house, he threw away all my styrofoam cups in the basement because part of what they did was they did some cleanup around there, down there. You know, I had an electrician here. He's a friend or whatever, and anyways, he had his apprentice doing things like organizing my basement for me, and I guess all those styrofoam cups looked like trash to him, so he threw it all away. Same with my chicken wire that I store down there when it's not in use. He threw that away as well. But that's on me for not thinking about, you know, what was down there that might look like trash to anybody but a gardener. So at any rate, I could have went and got some more styrofoam cups, but I thought, well, let's try out the reusable option. Not that styrofoam cups aren't reusable, but part of the reason I loved my styrofoam cups is because they were so much deeper. But then I found these on Amazon. I thought I'd give them a try. So like I said, these are 2.5-inch square, but they are rather deep. So trying something new. I'm not going to recommend them now, but I may recommend them next year. We'll see. They are a little on the flimsy side, if you ask me. But I was looking at, because I do love the quality of Bootstrap Farmer. Yeah, Bootstrap Farmer. But I just didn't have the money to buy in the quantity that I needed right now. So sometimes you can get away with going with an inferior product. And I think these will serve me just fine for a few years. Okay, so that's all mixed up nice. And it's just slightly moist. It's not wet, just slightly moist. I'm going to add a little bit more water and then get to packing. A quick shout out to Clausen World. She has a YouTube channel here, and most recently she announced that she has an Etsy shop where she is selling seeds and what I am calling these sassy tumblers. I got this one. I thought it was pretty funny. Thank you, dear. It's beautiful. The quality is great. The shipping was so fast and it was so pretty. I wish I'd saved it. It came in a very pretty flowery bag and it had a thank you note in it. And if you haven't checked out our Etsy shop, please do so. Let's support folks in our community. In all honesty, I hadn't actually planned on participating in this. I participated in the first year, and then last year I didn't, and this year I hadn't, specifically thought about it and been like, oh yeah, I can't wait till that starts. But I saw, I think it's Urban Backyard Gardening Chronicles. She had posted her video, and I was like, you know what? I got a crap ton of perennials that I've wanted to get started. I was going to grow them anyway, so why not join the party, join the fun. So I'm excited. I am excited. It was fun. It's always fun doing a grow along type thing. Right now, I'm still currently participating in the hashtag WIG 2025 hosted by Mike's Chaotic Gardening and GT Junior Grows It Alaska. I'm doing pretty good on that one. I only had one seed fail me in that challenge, and that was for I wanted to grow eucalyptus, but it apparently I need to do more research because I didn't get one seed to germinate. And eucalyptus seeds are expensive, at least here. So I decided, screw it, I'm not messing with that, doing anything complicated. And in fact, I just recently dropped some more seeds. I'm doing all of my winter indoor growing in hydroponics. And I generally do. So that's going really well. And I'm going to try and get this set up to fit in my office so I can keep everything in one room. Alrighty. I can move on from that for the time being. Okay, first things first. Gotta write out the tags. I got those, a Sharpie, and my seeds. Okay. All right, we're all labeled. And I just want to go on record as having said this. Oops. But just because just because I put these labels in don't mean a darn thing. What happens now and what happens when it comes time to put this out into the a garden are probably two different things, okay? I know you other gardeners will understand what I'm saying. I always start out like this to where I'm like, great, I get my seeds together, I'm all organized, I do my labels clear and concise, and then something goes wrong. What's supposed to be sage winds up being basil, and I don't know. I don't know what I end up doing. But right now, the promise is great. So for my lamb's ear, I have seeds that were sent to me in a trade and These that I saved myself back in 2021. Hopefully these are newer than mine. I just got them last year in 2024, fall of 2024 I got these. So I did a whole video, and actually since I'm only planting 3, I'm just going to use, well, I'll plant some from there too. I'll start with this. Anyways, I did a whole video a couple years ago about lamb's ear, and I will link to that above. Do check that out. It's a beautiful little plant. It is the Stachys byzantina. Is that going in? I guess so. I don't know. We'll find out. And in my experience, I think I'm going to overseed these just in case. In my experience, it has a pretty good growth rate, right? It's not super slow. And before you know it, it'll be knee high. It is part of the mint family. And you know what that means? It has those square stems. Got a lot of seeds left in that. So cool. And if you want to check that video out, like I said, it will be linked above. Okay, so next up is my rose mint, which I changed up, if you can notice. I forgot that rose mint needs to be surface sown. Doesn't need any holes. So I'm just going to sow these on the surface and press them lightly into the soil. I got these seeds from the seed trade in my town. What was it? 2 years ago? Yeah, 2023, 2 years ago. And what do I know about rose mint? Obviously, it's part of the mint family, which means that it could become invasive in some areas. You have to be careful with it. Nay, plant it in pots. Be your safest bet if you're worried about that. It has beautiful flowers, and the flowers, oh, and they smell divine. They have a mint smell with a hint of rose to them. They're pink, kind of lavender, purplish. With that gorgeous scent. And they flower from like June to September-ish, maybe longer. As a matter of fact, I can smell it as I crush up these seeds she sent over. All right, and then I'm just gonna press these into the soil using another seed pot. And I will use my sprayer to water all these in, which will be perfect because that means the seeds won't move around. But I'm super excited for the rose mint. I tried growing this a number of times, and the last time I got it going was at the old house, and sure enough, I haven't started it here. So the only mint I have here right now is chocolate mint, and I would like to get this Agastache rose mint going. It is perennial to zones 4 through 10. Alrighty, next up is the Kelway Gold Chamomile. All right, next up is the Kelway Golden Chamomile. Ooh, these seeds are small. It is perennial to zones 3 through 7. And just like the rose mint, it needs to be surface sown. You can use these beautiful daisy-like flowers for tea. And they'll grow in just about anything. Like I said, 2 years ago when I first moved on the property, I grew these in a green stalk and they did wonderful. Got a little long, but it worked nonetheless. And they were beautiful, and I had my flowers for my tea, and everything was right with the world, so I'm doing it again. Next up, I'm doing the African Nunum basil. I'm probably not saying that right, but this one has a wonderful flavor, reportedly. I haven't grown it yet. They say it's great for making pesto, but what intrigued me most about it is that it has the hint of oregano flavor. So it's got a spiciness to it. Obviously, with that in mind, it would make a killer pesto. And this one thrives in heat. It's a beautiful plant. And I'm looking forward to this. And also because, saving seeds from basil is about one of the easiest things you can do. So if I love this, I'll be able to have this forever and ever and ever. You do have to remove the spent flower buds, or no, just the flower buds, period, just like with any basil, in order to keep the harvest window open. All right, so next I'm moving on to Confetti Cilantro, which I grew last year, but I didn't get any, I'm pretty sure. Pretty excited about it. Cilantro being one of my favorite herbs. I'm really getting into Mexican flavors in my old age. I still say Chinese food is my favorite, but Mexican is moving up there, man. I really like it. And recently I saw Southern Frugal Mama did a video on, what was it? Mexican struggle meals. Check it out. Oh my. She made me really want to go and buy a whole bunch of beans. And obviously this confetti cilantro would look and taste great in there. It says it's best used when the plant is young. Um, Finely divided leaves are easier to chop. They may yield less harvest than standard varieties, but what it lacks in yield, it makes up for tenfold in flavor. Wow. So super excited about that. This can take full sun to partial sun. Yay. Next on, we'll move to, let's see, I got narrow leaf Papalo. So I love Papalo. I grew Papalo at the last house, but it's not for everybody. Same as like cilantro isn't for everybody. So is Papalo. To me, it has the same flavor as the cilantro. Very, very similar. Um, but it depends on the person, I guess, because I know Little Tech Girls Homestead grew it a few years ago um, after watching me grow it and us loving it in my yard. And then she found she didn't like the taste of it, but she likes cilantro. So, give it a try. If you like cilantro, definitely give it a try. It may be for you, it may not be. Who knows? But you won't know unless you try. And this narrow leaf variety is new to me. I got the seeds from, oh, what is it? Baker Creek. But what I didn't know is I already had seeds for it, because in doing some research, I did a trade back in the summer of 2024. Um, with the lady from or Mexico. And well, she's from Mexico, but she lived, I want to say, in Texas or something. Anyways, we did a seed trade and she sent me seeds for it. And but it doesn't say narrow leafed Papalo on it. Those seeds say Pipicha. So narrow leafed Papalo and Pipicha are the same thing as far as I can tell. And these came from Puebla, Oaxacan, southern Mexico. I don't know. She was a really nice lady. We exchanged a lot of seeds. So I was super excited to get these from her. And then when I saw it, and I thought to myself, because she sent over pictures, this lady was uber thorough. I'm like, gosh, that also looks like that Papalo I bought from Baker Creek. And sure enough, I did a little bit of searching, and to me, it looks like the both are the same. So, giving that a try this year on a conventional Papalo gets really big. The year I grew it, I was not prepared for what I grew. It gets large, let me tell you. All right, next up is Winter Savory. It is perennial to zones 4 through 8. Oh, the seeds in here. I know how I'm going to stretch this. And you do have to surface sow these seeds. The light aids in germination, and they do suggest that you spread them out. Fat chance. You saw how small these seeds are? Yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. At any rate, in zones 4 through 6, though, you may need to give them a little bit of cover for them to make it through the winter. But they can be easily overwintered, and they have a peppery flavor. It's a semi-evergreen as well. And along that same vein is, oops, I did it. Hold on. Summer Savory. I'm just making sure I got a nice flat surface to sow my seeds on. Equally small, wow. So you might be asking yourself, wait, what's the difference between winter savory and summer savory? Well, I'll tell you. Summer savory lives for one season. It germinates from seed, then it blossoms, and then it sets its seed before it dies back. Whereas winter savory, on the other hand, is a perennial. And perennial plants do die back at the end of the growing season, but they produce new growth in the spring. So there's your difference. Now, summer savory, I've heard, is touted for its medicinal purposes of reducing bloating and gas. And yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, I talk about gas way too much on my channel. But if you watched my recent video on where I was talking with Joy, we did the game. We did Never Have I Ever. And I was telling her that my something that is new to me, thanks to menopause, is constant bloating and gas. So TMI, I'm sure, but I can guarantee you I'll be able to let you know if summer savory works for that condition or not. Next, we have Extrakta Sage. This was my first time buying from this company. They're called Adaptive Seeds. And all the seeds are Pacific Northwest grown and open pollinated. Oh, they gave you a nice, let's see, 60 seeds in a pack. Very nice. This sage is perennial to zones 5 through 9. And they can be used, or I'm sorry, this sage can be used in a culinary fashion, much like your common sage. And in addition, it is good for medicinal use as well. It has a high essential oil content. Not that I plan on trying to extract that by any means. I just like to save enough sage for my household for the year. And last year, only 2 of my sage plants came back. So I want to get more out there. It says here that dark purple flowers are edible, as is the silver green foliage. It's highly aromatic, deer resistant, and drought tolerant. Fabulous. All right, and then finally, herb number 10 is the Joseph's Coat Amaranthus tricolor. Oh, those are some tiny seeds. I'm mostly growing this because it's absolutely beautiful, but you can eat the leaves of this plant. These are tiny. I wonder if I'm supposed to surface sow these. Hold on, let me find out. I am glad I checked because, as luck would have it, yes. Yeah, I am supposed to surface sow the seed and then lightly press it in. So as I was saying, you can eat these leaves, but honestly, I'm just growing it for its beauty. I grew an amaranthus a couple years ago that was beautiful, and I tried to eat it. I didn't care for the flavor. So that's not to say that this won't be fine. I'm just saying I'm growing this for beauty. If I end up eating it, great. If I don't, that's fine too. All right, friends, there's my 10 seeds ready to go. All I got to do now is water these in right quick. And there you have it, kids. I'm all done. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Do check out the playlist for the hashtag Planter HGC 2025 to see how myself and other participants are doing. And I will see you all in another video on another day. Until then, happy growing, my friends.